Hello New Game fans, April was pretty jam-packed as well with a number of interesting titles, where I do have a handful of bigger games, tactics titles and a very interesting entry in this edition of surprise releases. Let's begin with the 1.0 release of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodhunt, a AAA title due to the IP and developer, but it's amazing how they managed to carve out their niche in the Battle Royale space. This is of course set in the World of Darkness IP, where you play as a vampire fighting for control over Prague. There is a solo mode as well as squad in teams of 3, with a nice mix of guns, swords and mystical powers, so for free, why not check this out? I'm a sucker for tower defense games, with Iron Guard being one such title of interest, reminding me a little bit of X-Morph Defense, where this is the PC version but is also available in VR. If you grew up in the 80s and 90s, I'm sure that you'll be familiar with the Mega Game Pack, where you have 20 or 30 or 100 games in one cartridge, which was always fun since it seemed like tremendous value for money, where publisher Super Rare is trying to recreate a little bit of that same magic with the SRG Mixtape, with Volume 2 being available right now, where, full disclosure, I did get sent such a copy. This has 30 smaller indie games and 6 demos to check out, where in addition to the games, there are some concept art and developer audio commentaries included as well. Games that I recommend include Cheeky Chooks, Perfect Vermin and Tadpole Tales, but the best part is that there are so many awesome games to try. Most of these are available via Steam or itch.io, but it's still pretty cool to have this as a physical thing, so do pick this up if interested. A neat looking action platformer is HunterX, one where you play as a teenage schoolgirl with the responsibility of hunting down demons. It's not the prettiest game, but does evoke Bloodstained Ritual of the Night in some ways, especially due to the enemy models and animations, but if you can look past that, it should be something of interest here. Some of you might recognize Dandy and Randy DX, since this action-adventure title that is like Goof Troop was previously available on Steam, with this new DX version supposedly having new content, I think, but cannot confirm since I didn't exactly get a press release with clear information. Through my sleuthing, I think that this re-release is because the developer changed publishers, who did help with the console ports as well, but business aside, this is a neat game worth checking out. play as two archaeologists who are in debt, chasing down rumors of a fabled precious stone in order to pay this off, going on an adventure in order to retrieve it. I love the pixel art, but I think it's best with a friend in 2-player co-op, so if you've not played this, do check it out. A decent looking tactics title is Sword of Atlas, one that uses 2D pixel art sprites in 3D environments, set in quite a classic fantasy world, and does take inspiration from Fire Emblem and Final Fantasy Tactics. Our protagonist is the recipient of a mysterious talking sword, which then puts them straight into a world of action and consequence, as you and your party go about unraveling the mysteries of the sword. Most interestingly, this is a student project and is completely free, so if you love tactics titles, do check this out. Cozy Grove was one of the most pleasant and charming experiences of 2021, where I played the base game through to completion, but then dropped it entirely after that, but the developers are trying to pull me back in with the new Neighbears paid DLC. This adds 4 new ghost bears that you need to help out, with additional features like butterflies to catch, new clothing options, a new song and more, but if you're curious about this, watch my video linked above. Let's kick off the top 3 with the 1.0 release of Unsold, a very stylish, Souls-like action-adventure title from a Korean developer, being pretty awesome and is not to be missed. The story isn't anything to write home about, but the action truly shines, being fast and frantic, while having nuances that makes it satisfying to master. There are combos and counterattacks, triggered by different opportunities, even allowing you to use the environment to damage your enemies. In my opinion, if you like the combat in Hades or Hyper Light Drifter, this game should certainly be on your radar. A not-so-indie title is King Arthur Knight's Tale, one that comes to us from developer New Core Games, who are best known for their Diablo-style action RPGs, The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing, and Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr. However, what you might not know is that they also made the King Arthur strategy game in 2009, 2011 and 2012, which did get a mixed reception, but this title seems to have hit, with it being more of a tactical RPG title. It mixes turn-based tactics on a grid with RPG character progression, where you're leading the Knights of the Round Table to, in a twist, kill the resurrected King Arthur, ending the curse and madness laid upon the land. Your party members are full characters in themselves, where your actions can change their loyalty and perception of you with a weighty, grimdark setting and tone which is excellently done. The staying power and quality of Terraria is one of the wonders of indie games, still standing as an absolute titan 11 years after release, continuing to provide updates and content to their community, all for free, with update 1.4.3 being the latest of interest, releasing in November last year for PC, with it being pushed out to consoles and mobile last week. This includes crossover content with Don't Starve Together, bringing over the Deer Clock's boss enemy, as well as pets, weapons, accessories, food and more from that game. I'm still amazed at how enduring this game is, so for that alone, it takes the #1 spot. For more pixel art titles, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.